November 27, 2020, an ambush in Absard near Tehran marked the tragic death of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, one of the most influential figures in Iran's nuclear program. Known as the father of the Iranian bomb, his assassination not only shocked Iran but also reignited geopolitical tensions in an already conflict-laden region. How did this attack take place? What implications does it have for Iran, Israel, and the rest of the world? Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, known as the father of the Iranian bomb, was far more than an accomplished scientist. He personified Iran's nuclear ambitions, an effort that, according to Western powers, extended well beyond Tehran's declared peaceful purposes. Born in 1958 in the holy city of Qom, Fakhrizadeh grew up deeply influenced by the religious values of Shiite Islam and the political fervor sparked by the 1979 Islamic Revolution. This combination cemented his commitment to both science and the new regime's cause. Fakhrizadeh was not only a brilliant academic but also a military strategist. As a general in the Revolutionary Guard, he rapidly rose through the ranks thanks to his innovative vision and his ability to circumvent international sanctions. He earned a doctorate in nuclear physics from Isfahan University of Technology, where he wrote a thesis on neutron identification, a subject closely tied to nuclear research. This specialized knowledge made him a central figure in developing Iran's nuclear program, especially the Mossad project, which aimed to build a nuclear bomb. The Mossad project, reportedly dismantled in 2003 under international pressure, left behind a hidden legacy that Fakhrizadeh continued to lead. According to documents revealed by Israel in 2018, his work was transferred to secret programs operating under new names, often using civilian institutions as cover. Fakhrizadeh was a master at evading restrictions imposed by international organizations, acquiring advanced technology and leading critical research on miniaturizing nuclear warheads, essential for their potential deployment on long-range ballistic missiles. Throughout his life, Fakhrizadeh avoided public attention. He rarely appeared in the media, and his work was so enigmatic that even many of his colleagues were unaware of its full scope. However, his importance was undeniable to Western and Israeli intelligence agencies, which identified him as a strategic threat. In 2018, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly named him as the mastermind behind Iran's nuclear efforts, famously stating, "Remember that name." Fakhrizadeh's work was not purely scientific, it also had an ideological dimension. He authored a book outlining strategies for the destruction of the State of Israel, solidifying his position as a polarizing figure both within and outside of Iran. The death of Fakhrizadeh created a significant void in Iran's nuclear program, yet it also elevated him to the status of a martyr, a symbol of Iran's ongoing struggle to achieve its strategic objectives. To what extent will his absence hinder Iran's nuclear ambitions? That remains a question only time can answer. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh's daily life reflected the discipline of a dedicated scientist alongside the vulnerability of someone accustomed to moving under an apparent sense of security. Despite being one of Iran's most closely monitored individuals, his routine followed patterns that would ultimately facilitate the work of his enemies. Fakhrizadeh began each day before dawn, dedicating the early hours to Islamic studies, a practice that reinforced his deep religious roots. He then turned his focus to his professional duties, overseeing Iran's nuclear program with meticulous attention to detail. On weekends, Fakhrizadeh and his wife would often travel from their main residence to a vacation home near the Caspian Sea, one of the country's most exclusive areas frequented by the Iranian elite. This itinerary, well known to both his colleagues and intelligence agencies, became a weak link in his security chain. Despite warnings from Iranian intelligence services about potential assassination attempts, Fakhrizadeh demonstrated a dangerous level of confidence in his routine. He rejected suggestions to regularly use armored vehicles and often preferred to drive his personal car himself. While this might have been interpreted as humility, it also exposed a critical vulnerability: the predictability of his movements. The security measures surrounding him, although robust on the surface, were not designed to counter the sophistication of a meticulously planned operation, such as the one he would face on that fateful November 27, 2020. On that day, Fakhrizadeh, accompanied by his wife and a convoy of bodyguards, was en route to Absard, an exclusive resort east of Tehran. Along the way, they encountered a blue Nissan truck strategically parked at a vantage point along the route. What appeared to be an abandoned vehicle concealed a robotic machine gun equipped with artificial intelligence and operated via satellite. Without the need for a shooter on site, the system was remotely activated, firing a precise burst of bullets that struck Fakhrizadeh directly. His bodyguards reacted immediately, but the sophistication of the attack left little room for intervention. The vehicle used in the operation was designed to self-destruct after the mission, eliminating any tangible evidence. This attack, which combined advanced technology, meticulous planning, and a detailed understanding of Fakhrizadeh's vulnerabilities, set a new benchmark for operations of this kind. Fakhrizadeh's decision to disregard security recommendations proved fatal. Was this a case of overconfidence or simply a belief that his country could protect him? This lesson, tragically learned, serves as a stark reminder. Even the most protected individuals are vulnerable when details are overlooked. Since the inception of Iran's nuclear program, Israel has regarded its advancements as an existential threat. In response, the Mossad, Israel's external intelligence agency, has led a multifaceted strategy to dismantle these efforts, combining covert operations, sabotage, and targeted assassinations. This policy is rooted in the principle that proactive prevention is the only way to ensure Israel's security against what it perceives as an enemy determined to destroy it. Israel's strategic approach dates back to 2004, when the Mossad began gathering intelligence on the Ahmad project, Iran's secret program aimed at developing a nuclear bomb. Although Tehran claimed its nuclear program was for peaceful purposes, evidence obtained by the Mossad suggested otherwise. This intelligence allowed Israel to identify key figures behind the project, including Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, who became the top priority in a prolonged campaign to neutralize the nuclear threat. The Mossad has demonstrated creativity and precision in its operations. Between 2007 and 2020, 5 prominent Iranian nuclear scientists were killed in incidents ranging from explosions to motorcycle attacks. For example, in 2010, Majid Shahriari, an expert in reactor design, was killed when a bomb attached to his car detonated. In 2011, Dariush Rezaeinejad, an electrical engineer linked to the nuclear program, was gunned down outside his home in Tehran. Each assassination not only removed a key figure in Iran's nuclear program, but also sent a clear message. Israel would not tolerate the development of nuclear capabilities that threaten its existence. Beyond targeted assassinations, the Mossad has also employed cyber and physical sabotage. A notable example is the Stuxnet virus attack in 2010, developed in collaboration with the United States. This malware disrupted thousands of centrifuges at Iran's Natanz enrichment facility, significantly delaying its nuclear progress. More recently, in 2021, a massive explosion destroyed thousands of centrifuges at the same site, an act also attributed to the Mossad. Israel's strategy includes audacious operations, such as the 2018 theft of a classified Iranian archive. A team of Mossad agents broke into a Tehran warehouse and extracted over 50,000 documents and disks detailing Iran's nuclear advancements. These documents were later presented by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to demonstrate that Iran had lied about the peaceful nature of its nuclear program. However, these actions have sparked international criticism. Some consider them extrajudicial killings that violate international law and increase regional instability. On the other hand, Israel argues that such operations are necessary for its survival in a hostile geopolitical environment. The question remains, are these tactics effective in preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons, or do they merely delay the inevitable? The case of Fakhrizadeh epitomizes the depth and sophistication of Israel's strategy. His assassination, which combined advanced intelligence, cutting-edge technology, and meticulous planning, was the culmination of years of effort to neutralize Iran's nuclear leadership. For Israel, these actions are not only deterrent measures, but also a reminder that protecting its national security is non-negotiable, even at the cost of escalating international tensions. The assassination of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, Iran's leading nuclear scientist, marked a turning point in the use of advanced technology in covert operations. The November 27, 2020 operation combined meticulous planning, exhaustive knowledge of the target's vulnerabilities, and cutting-edge technology, becoming a quintessential example of surgical precision in the realm of espionage and counterintelligence. The plan began months earlier when Israeli intelligence services identified patterns in Fakhrizadeh's movements. These insights, gathered through human surveillance and technological tracking, revealed that the scientist frequently drove his own vehicle, disregarding his bodyguard's security recommendations. This detail proved pivotal for the execution of the attack. The technological component of the operation was both innovative and lethal. A blue Nissan truck, strategically parked at an elevated position along the route to Absard, concealed a modified FNMAG machine gun, equipped with a robotic remote control system. This device, designed to operate without direct human intervention on site, was outfitted with artificial intelligence, multiple high-resolution cameras, and a satellite communication system. These features allowed the shooter, stationed more than 1,000 miles away, to control the weapon with pinpoint accuracy. On the day of the attack, Fakhrizadeh was traveling in his personal car, accompanied by his wife and escorted by a convoy of bodyguards. As his vehicle reached the critical point, the robotic system was activated. Using the integrated cameras, the operator clearly identified Fakhrizadeh and fired multiple bursts of bullets that fatally struck him. Despite the bodyguard's efforts, the attack was executed so quickly and precisely that there was no opportunity for effective defense. A crucial element of the operation was the vehicle's self-destruct capability. Minutes after the attack was completed, the truck exploded, destroying any physical evidence that could directly link the weapon or the system to its operators. This tactic, characteristic of high sophistication operations, further complicated Iran's efforts to reconstruct the event. The use of advanced technology in this operation not only showcased the Mossad's technical capabilities, but also sent a powerful deterrent message to Israel's adversaries. The decision to employ a robotic system rather than a human team minimized risks to Israeli operatives, while ensuring impeccable precision in execution. However, the operation's technical and strategic success has not been without criticism. Some analysts have raised ethical concerns about the use of autonomous technology in targeted killings, arguing that these methods blur legal and moral boundaries in international conflicts. Beyond its immediate impact, Fakhrizadeh's assassination carries long-term implications. The operation symbolizes a shift in how global powers use technology to conduct covert missions, heralding an era where artificial intelligence and remote systems play a central role. Will this become the new standard in global espionage? The case of Fakhrizadeh suggests that we are witnessing a paradigm shift in the execution of strategic operations, where technology redefines the boundaries of what is possible. The assassination of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh triggered a wave of outrage in Iran, where he was regarded as a national hero and a key figure in the country's scientific progress. From the highest levels of government to the streets of Tehran, reactions were swift and resolute, reflecting both the anger and the vulnerability exposed by this attack. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani directly pointed to Israel as the primary perpetrator of the assassination. In a televised address, Rouhani condemned the act as a desperate display of hatred toward Iran's scientific advancements. He further asserted that Fakhrizadeh's death would not hinder the progress of the country's nuclear program. Iran's enemies must know that this crime will not go unanswered. We will respond at the appropriate time, he declared with determination. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei also condemned the attack, describing it as an act of state terrorism and vowing retaliation against those responsible. Hossein Degan, Khamenei's military advisor, was even more direct, stating that Iran would strike back like lightning against those who orchestrated the killing. While these declarations were firm, they provided no specifics about the nature of Iran's potential response, leaving room for multiple interpretations. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif called on the international community to condemn what he described as a cowardly act of state terrorism. Zarif specifically accused Israel and urged the European Union and other global actors to take a strong stance against such actions. However, Israel's silence and the lack of concrete evidence made it difficult to generate a unified diplomatic response. Domestically, Fakhrizadeh's death also provoked criticism of Iran's intelligence services and the Revolutionary Guard elite responsible for his security. Many in Iran questioned how such a sophisticated and audacious attack could have been executed within the country's borders without detection. In the weeks following the assassination, Iran's parliament approved measures to accelerate uranium enrichment, a symbolic act of defiance against its adversaries. While this move reinforced Iran's narrative of resistance, it also complicated diplomatic efforts to revive the nuclear deal. The lingering question remains, will Iran's response be immediate and forceful or strategically calculated? What is certain is that Fakhrizadeh's assassination inflicted a deep wound on Iran's national pride, a pain that the country has vowed will not go unavenged. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh was not just a scientist, he was the invisible face of Iran's nuclear program, a project that has been under constant international scrutiny for decades. While Iran maintains that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes, such as energy production and medical research, Western powers, led by the United States and Israel, have long argued that there is strong evidence suggesting hidden military objectives. As the chief architect of the so-called Mossad project, Fakhrizadeh was instrumental in advancing nuclear technology that could potentially be weaponized. This program, allegedly dismantled in 2003 under international pressure, left behind a legacy that Fakhrizadeh continued to develop in secret. According to documents revealed by the Mossad in 2018, the project's work had been carried forward under new names and with increased secrecy. These documents, obtained in a daring operation in Tehran, included diagrams, plans, and evidence indicating that Iran had maintained intentions to pursue the development of a nuclear warhead. For many within Iran, Fakhrizadeh symbolized national pride and the resilience to defy international sanctions and pressure. However, beyond Iran's borders, he was viewed as a strategic threat that needed to be neutralized. His name frequently appeared in Western intelligence reports as a key figure in the suspected militarization of Iran's nuclear program, earning him the title, the father of the Iranian bomb. Fakhrizadeh's assassination not only removed a crucial leader from Iran's nuclear program, but also reinforced the international narrative about Iran's lack of transparency in this domain. His death underscored the depth of global tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear ambitions and raised critical questions about the future of the program amid mounting international pressure and internal challenges. The assassination of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh had profound repercussions on international politics, escalating tensions in an already volatile region and complicating diplomatic efforts related to Iran's nuclear program. This event was not only a direct blow to Iran's scientific leadership, but also a challenge to attempts at restoring global cooperation under the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, known as the 2015 nuclear deal. For the United States, the assassination came at a delicate moment. With the Biden administration planning to re-enter the nuclear agreement, the attack generated new tensions that made diplomatic progress increasingly difficult. Iranian leaders interpreted the killing as an attempt to sabotage future negotiations, raising the possibility that the incident was orchestrated to complicate Washington's return to dialogue with Tehran. Additionally, it tested the new administration's ability to manage relationships with its Middle Eastern allies, particularly Israel, which has consistently voiced its opposition to the JCPOA. In Europe, the incident heightened concerns over Iran's escalating uranium enrichment activities and their potential military implications. The European signatories of the nuclear deal faced a dilemma: intensify their criticism of Tehran or seek ways to prevent a larger escalation that could lead to open confrontation. Israel, for its part, sent a clear message through the operation. It will not allow Iran to develop a nuclear bomb, regardless of diplomatic agreements. This unilateral approach underscores the fragility of international efforts to contain nuclear proliferation in the region. In this context, the tensions surrounding Fakhrizadeh's death pose a critical question. Is it possible to restore diplomatic stability in an environment where covert actions and retaliatory measures have become central to international policy? The Mossad, Israel's foreign intelligence agency, has built a legacy of covert operations synonymous with precision, audacity, and efficiency. Its primary objective has been to safeguard Israel's national security by neutralizing strategic threats before they materialize. In this context, its actions against Iran's nuclear program stand out as one of its most significant and sustained campaigns. Since 2004, the Mossad has spearheaded a multifaceted strategy to halt Iran's nuclear advancements. This has included sabotage of enrichment facilities, such as the 2010 Stuxnet cyber attack, as well as the systematic elimination of key figures within Iran's nuclear program. Between 2007 and 2020, at least 5 Iranian nuclear scientists were assassinated in operations attributed to the Mossad, using methods ranging from vehicle-mounted explosives to firearm attacks executed by motorcycle operatives. The most emblematic case is that of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, whose assassination in 2020 showcased a combination of advanced technology and meticulous planning. The use of a remotely operated robotic weapon represented a new level of sophistication in Mossad operations, minimizing risks to its agents while ensuring surgical precision. The operation further bolstered the agency's reputation as a formidable actor in the world of espionage. The Mossad has also carried out high-profile missions, such as the 2018 theft of Iran's nuclear archives. In this daring operation, a Mossad team infiltrated a warehouse in Tehran and extracted thousands of documents revealing classified information about Iran's nuclear program. These materials not only strengthened Israel's accusations against Iran, but also demonstrated the Mossad's ability to penetrate deep into enemy territory. While these actions have faced criticism for their legality and morality, Israel views them as essential measures in its struggle for survival. For Israel, the ends justify the means when dealing with existential threats. This legacy of covert operations not only establishes the Mossad as a pivotal player in global intelligence, but also raises critical questions about the ethical boundaries of strategic power. The story of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh encapsulates the complexity of tensions in the Middle East, where technology, politics, and religion intersect in a fragile balance. His death not only marked a milestone in the battle against Iran's nuclear program, but also raised critical questions about the boundaries of covert operations and the role of diplomacy in addressing global conflicts. As the world watches how Iran responds and how events unfold in the region, one thing is certain: the pursuit of stability and security in the Middle East remains one of the greatest challenges of our time. If you found this topic interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more content on geopolitics, history, and global events. Your opinion matters. Do you believe actions like these help or harm global stability? Let us know in the comments below. See you in the next video.